It's champagne life, right?
That's what's up. Yeah.
Yes. What's up, Callie Rains? Welcome to Champagne and Conversations. How are you?
I'm doing good, Empress. Thank you for having me. Blessings,
Yes,
blessings every time.
absolutely. And guys, we have Callie Ranks on. We were partying behind the scenes, so that's why we're a little bit behind, but we'll share the party with you all now that you're here.
Real. That's what's up.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. So excited to talk to you and get all of the gems that you have about your career and the music and the new music and all of that fun stuff. So first I want to ask you, what did you think about the verses that just happened with Supercat? Did you have any thoughts on that?
Oh man, breath of fresh air. I mean, like
Okay.
after, I mean, everybody can relate to, being locked up after the pandemic for one, what I mean, and not getting
Right.
enough, entertainment like we're used to. But then
Right.
to have it where you have, like a veteran, iconic OG like Supercat, to come on verses and bless us with some, what I mean, some of those, that vibe, man. It was dope.
Amazing,
Just
right?
dope. My thoughts, dope.
So yes, and all of the acts that he brought out before, or they, had come out before, it was just leading up to that. It was
Right.
definitely a celebration. I do agree. That it was a night.
Yeah, when you
Um,
when you talk about Barrington Levy, you know what I'm saying? I mean, I've been listening to Barrington like since I was a
oh
kid.
yes,
You know what I mean?
yes,
And his voice to still have that type vocals where, when he hit the stage, you still feel that same vibes from like 25 years ago. I mean, phenomenal. It's dope. It was dope. It was a dope night. The young
so
acts, I
romantic.
enjoyed them. A few of them I didn't really. I mean, I've heard their songs, but I've never seen them on stage. So you know, what I mean, overall, to bring reggae to verses, it was a very good thing. You know what I mean? Because reggae and hip hop, I think, as my opinion, they go hand in hand. You know what I mean? From
Absolutely.
from birth, from Cool Herc and so on and so forth. So yeah, it was a
Yes.
good show. It was a great show.
Yes,
Mhm.
absolutely. Now, even with that, we did have Bounty and Beanie, which I actually
Oh,
really enjoyed because that
I
took
did
me
too.
back.
Yeah, I did. I did.
That took me
Those are two of the
all the way back.
greats. Yeah, those are two of the greats. I mean, in dancehall, I mean, they're both kings in their own rights. King Beanie and Five Star General Bounty Killer. You know
Absolutely.
what I mean? And the vibes they bring, what I mean, is always fire. So for them to come together like that on verses, man, I really, really enjoy that shit. I mean, like I mean, it was, it was a what do you call it? Historical thing. You know
It
what I
was a
mean? Yeah,
celebration.
it was a historical
Definitely.
celebration. Yeah, I love
Very
that.
entertaining, just a good like feeling
And
to
they
the
had
soul.
fun too. They had fun. You know what I mean? And in turn, we had a great time. So that was dope vibes. Just strictly authentic dope vibes from some
Yes,
super
and
top
we
reggae
so
artists,
needed
top
them.
tier. Yeah. Yeah, we
Hmm.
so needed that.
Yes, we
Yeah.
needed that at that time, and they can keep them coming, right? Versus keep going. Let's do
Yes.
this.
Yes. I'm waiting for
Mhm.
somebody to, put somebody with Buster, you know what I mean? So we could
Who would you
finally have that.
say?
Honestly, I think Eminem and Buster, not say on a battling type level, but the entertainment and the hits they have under their belt, that would be something dope for hip hop. You know what I mean? Because Buster that's a dungeon dragon right there. So you can't
Yeah,
just put him with anybody. The vibes has to be on that level. It's more, the vibes than anything else. Buster's vibe is just, that
the
yard man.
monster.
Yeah, that yard man. Yeah, you see me? So you'd have to
Yeah,
have somebody who have that same type of vibe. It's like, I want to see that. I want to see Onyx and maybe MOP. You know what I mean? I mean that there's so much more, what I mean, that we could wish for, but my wish list is long, so I can't even go go over it right
listen, listen. I know this is going off of where I wanted to go, but since you brought up Onyx, I told someone the other day that I'm glad I'm not in my 20s because in that time frame, I think I did things and then thought about it later or asked for forgiveness later. So I can't do Onyx too much. I
That's
can't
fair.
mix.
That's fair.
I can't mix that. And even with that, now I have to ask you the question. Your very successful project, and I'm not going to say the only, but a very successful project, Kill Them All. I wanted
Right.
to ask you, what was the inspiration for that, especially the title?
Well, to be honest with you, back in the 90s, it was it was more a battling atmosphere. And I was born in Jamaica and partially raised in Brooklyn. So my vibes is always been, dancehall hip hop because
Yeah,
I've walked both sides of the line.
sure.
And when I started trying to get into hip hop, I wanted to, first of all, they had two cats out at the time that were kind of rocking. It was Mad Lion
Yes.
and another kid called Black Panther. He didn't really make a long wave, but he was a little bit, he had a little heat with him at the time. And
Uh-huh.
I wanted to basically battle them, you know what I mean? But I couldn't reach these cats. But I said, okay, to myself, what would be the ideal line, what I'm saying, that you could say that nobody could rebuttal? And a matter of fact, to give Mad Lion credit, he had did a song and used that line not as a hook or anything. And you know what I mean? From the Gotta Take It Easy. Remember that? Gotta take it easy.
Yes.
Why? You know what I mean?
Oh,
And much respect to Mad
yes,
Lion. I mean, we grown now, I don't
absolutely.
have the
Yeah,
same feeling. I have a lot of respect for my fellow artists, you know what I mean?
no
But back
doubt.
then when you're young and you're trying to, shine, you know what I mean? You wanna,
Going hard.
yeah, go hard. So
Mm-hmm.
I thought of that on that level and wanted to combine that reggae feel with hip hop like in one sentence.
Okay.
So I've always, like followed Onyx and stuff like that. I always loved Onyx. Like since Slam came out, this is even before, what I mean, I
He do
even
it.
met
Yes.
Fredro, to be honest. You know what I mean?
Uh-huh. Shout
And
out
I
to
used
Fredro
to I used to love these
STP.
guys. Yeah, I have a few records
Mm-hmm.
with Fredro.
I
Uh
know.
yeah, yeah.
Yes.
This is before I
I
met them. I
listened
looked
last
up,
night.
I looked up to these guys and I'm like, yo, okay, I'm gonna try to just incorporate some of the best, vibes that I've seen into like one line. And it was kill them all, you know what I mean? Bring my Jamaican,
I get
take it
it.
and kill them. You know what I'm saying? And then I brought in Nas, represent, you know what I'm saying? And brought and
Yes.
tried to bring that vibe that Onyx had where they just rah, you know what I mean?
Yes. Yes.
And then at the time, Craig Mack, Pete Diddy had Craig Mack out. So for the beat, I wanted it to, knock, but still have a funky type vibe where, you still have some type of yard feel where I could ride the
You
rhythm
did
without, you know
that.
what I mean? So I went to Miami and got with some producers, and we sat there for like 2 days just picking sounds. And I told them, okay, I need them not like Craig Mack. You know what I mean? I need that like the anvil hammer that they haven't killed them all was like that Craig Mack knot in flavor in your ears if you listen. You know what I mean? And then I told him I needed a Wu-Tang snare, like something that snaps and make your neck. You know what I mean? Because that's that Wu sound with that snare that's
The
just snapping.
energy.
You know what I mean? The energy. So
Yes.
we did all of that, got it, bumping, but we couldn't find that ideal sound. We sat there. They brought me this kid that he had his SP12 and he was trying to find sounds, something to be the lead sound in a song. Couldn't come up with anything. The producers had a bunch of equipment laying around, so he picked up a guitar and while we were busy doing something else, he just started, strumming different notes. And in the middle of it all, I heard him hit that bump, bump, bump. And I was like, hey, hey, that's it.
That's it.
That's it. And
Yes.
it was
Yes. That's
history. You
it.
know what I mean? So
No doubt.
I've been blessed with a great group of people, you know what I mean, through my years. That's, has always been musically inclined
Yes.
and also not scared to let me try crazy stuff. You know what I mean? Like that, for
Well,
example,
the
and it
art
worked.
behind that was amazing. Just in the construction of that, you see
Yeah,
that
I
it
mean, God was
became
in the
total
room. Yeah,
masterpiece.
God
Yes,
was in the room, and
congratulations.
we gave it some thought. You know what I mean? I really
Yes.
sat and analyze, because back in those days we didn't have social media. You couldn't, you know what I mean? There was no way for you to just get out there. You had to really prove yourself. So you
Sure.
had to really put some thought in it. You couldn't just grab the mic and mumble and everybody be like, that's fire.
Yeah. No way.
Yeah, yeah.
And honestly, I think we enjoyed it more that way because you got to experience the craft, and everyone's
Yes.
craft is so different, which is why this celebration becomes amazing because you
Keyword
deliver it in so many
different.
different ways.
Yeah,
Right.
different.
I
Yeah, just
always reference Dougie Fresh and he stating that it had to be authentic. You had to be original. It was no other
yes.
way. And
Bring
I think
you.
that's what gives you guys this, the ability to paint your own art, you know?
That's exactly, you describe it right, to paint your own art. You know what I mean?
Yes.
You standing beside somebody looking at their canvas, just copying everything. You know, you're always gonna have people you look up to. You're always gonna have, because nothing is new under the sun. You know what I mean? Everything
Right.
is like in, but you should try to improve, bring something to the table each time, you know what I mean? So
Well, it's an influence, as you stated. You wanted a little extraction of this and that gave you
right,
kind of your own
right.
sauce, if you will, right?
Yes, yes,
So,
yes.
and in speaking in that, who were your influences from a musical perspective, just not only in you building the track, but just in terms of your musical delivery and that? Were you listening to anyone specific as you've been growing up and kind of contributing to your music?
I always give like credit to like Shaba, you know what I mean? Carrying the ranks, that's a big weight just to put ranks behind your name when
Pardon
you
the
got
pun,
no
right?
no 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 for real. Because
Yeah, yeah.
you know what I mean? I mean, people have generally, I mean, people who have never met me or heard of me before, and I tell them my name and they look at me strange like ranks,
Yes, yes.
who you put your ranks behind your name. So, you know what I mean? Not only that, but when, I looked up to Shaba because Shaba crossed boundaries and opened doors that, you know what I'm saying, a few have been able to do, especially for reggae music for a
Legends.
third world country. So Shaba was one. You know what I mean? I mean, there is so much because I'm a music lover. I mean, when I was young, I listened to Dolly Parton. You know what I mean? I listened to
Okay.
Kenny Rogers and Dolly Parton, Islands in the Stream. I mean, any type, you know what I mean? Fiddler on the Roof. Any,
You're mute. You went on mute.
I mean,
There you
so,
go.
but to pick a few, like I said, in the old guys like Papa San, you know what I mean? The Shabba ranks, coming up, the Beanies, the Bounties. There's so much. The KRS One, you know what I mean? There's so many influences. It's hard for me to really pick one. It would be cheating myself, honestly. Because
Yeah,
just
well,
like I
you
was
gave
saying
some
before, in
amazing
creation of the
legends.
track, yeah, it's
Yes,
like creating the track, you know what I mean? It was influences from everywhere.
yes,
So, it's hard to just name any one guy. I respect any original artist who has brought something to the table. You know what I
yes,
mean? And any artist who was, any artist that I've grown up listening to that I still listen to now and I could, still enjoy their music because
yes,
that's what it's supposed to be. Your music's supposed to be good 20, 30 years from now. You
yes.
know what I mean?
Building that legacy. Absolutely. And if it's
Yeah.
timeless, then it does continue. And it's not
Yes.
like, what is that? It's just
Yes.
you're rocking to it.
Yeah.
That's
You
what
just rock
that's
into it
beautiful.
like you don't know when it came out.
Yes. So
Yeah.
you mentioned KRS. How did you enjoy the KRS Big Daddy Kane versus?
Legends. I mean,
Yeah.
KRS is a semi friend of mine. I wouldn't say he's a friend, but I've worked with Chris. I still even have a track that Chris produced that I never used, not because it wasn't great, because that's Chris, but because the vibes wasn't what I was on. You know, what I mean, I wasn't feeling that type vibe. But KRS One and Big Daddy Kane,
Stan has a lot to say about that vibe, but yeah.
yeah. I mean, KRS One, that's the teacher. You know what I mean? You
That's
could,
what I'm
if you
saying.
love hip hop or you're a part of hip hop culture, there's no way you cannot respect KRS One and Big Daddy Kane. So
Yes,
that was just, total that enjoyment. You know what I mean?
yes,
It just takes you back. It's so nostalgic to see these guys rocking like it's still 1984. You know what I mean?
yes,
It's dope.
hip hop,
Yeah, yeah, it's
sure,
dope. It's dope. I mean,
absolutely.
other genres, you know what I mean? For example, Frank Sinatra, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
They perform until basically they fall out on stage. You know what I mean? So there shouldn't be any forcing of our hip hop culture, of our legends to get off the stage. I want to see
No
KRS-One and
doubt.
Big Daddy rock until they fall too. You know what I mean? Hopefully
Yes,
they
that's
never
right.
fall, but I'm saying,
Hopefully they
you
don't,
know what I mean?
right?
I listen to them until they're 99. You know what I mean?
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. Because that's when they really become legendary in other genres. Like you said, that's
Yes.
not,
You know what I mean? That's when they
this
put
is
them in
just
the
like
Hall of Fame.
the
That's
middle
when, you know what I'm
time.
saying? So I want to see the same for hip hop. You know what I mean? I want to see our
Absolutely.
legends continue, you know what I mean? And I know it's hard because there's always that battle between generations where, you know what I mean, you find, you know what I mean, so this generation going, what the hell is that? You know, the youngins are going, man, I don't know about that. That's old or whatever, you know what I mean? But once we come to that mutual crossroads where we realize, you know what I'm saying, that okay, us as OGs, we can't shun the young ones. You know what I mean? We got to kind of show them
Embrace
where it
them.
all came from so they could carry it
Hmm.
on because we're not going to be here forever. So we can't really shut them out. You got to kind of teach them so they could carry the culture on. And them in turn, you know what I'm saying, got to respect where it came from, you know what I mean, and embrace it. And that in turn would teach them, you know what I'm saying, how the hell to carry on. Cause right now I'm embarrassed of hip hop. No, I am. I'm embarrassed of hip hop right now.
Please explain why.
Not saying there's no good artists, right? But there's a thing that just came out, and I don't want to speak too much of stuff that I really don't know about. But there's a thing that just came out with one of the cats from Bone Thugs and Harmony describing a situation where he was in a meeting where a few powerful people or some powerful people were dictating the direction where they wanted hip hop to go because they own certain entities, and you know what I mean, it would be beneficial in their pockets if we rap a certain way or say certain things to create certain effects. There's no way anybody could tell me that that's not what's going on right now. I'm not I don't want to sound like, you know, it's hard for you to get on any platform and not and speak about anything without sounding like you're against this or against that. So they have put us in a position where we have to be so-called careful of what we say, or else, you know, you get canceled. You know what I mean? So
Yeah,
I'm
that's a big
trying to be
word now.
careful here, but the bottom line is the stuff, some of the things that the so-called new generation is trying to push on the young ones, or the media is trying to push on this generation for them to, you know what I mean, it's it's not beneficial in the sense like it's going to destroy us. It's
Well,
going to
I think
destroy us.
that you said one thing earlier when you said it comes full circle. And the other part about being authentic, or the authenticity of what you do and understanding who and what you are, you don't fall victim to that
Right.
when you have your art, right? The art
Right.
that you already understand who and what you are possessing, carrying, and what have you. So I think that you guys embody, and I'm saying it in collective measures in terms of 80s, 90s hip hop and that you all knew what you wanted to deliver. It was in your soul, right?
Right.
So no one can really, stand for nothing, fall for anything. You're not
Right.
in that situation. And so what's happening here is we just want to make a bag. We just want to get the tour. We just want to get the women, whatever it
And it's
is.
not even
And
their fault. We can't even fully blame them because, you know what I mean, I'm not blaming like the young ones, because it's just like racism. Nobody is born a racist. You have to be taught, you know what I'm saying,
sure.
racism. And it's the same type of behavior that we see, you know what I'm saying, from the youngins, or even
Yeah.
some of us older cats too, because you know what I'm saying, nobody is you know, it's not all of us OGs that's act accordingly, you know what I mean. And I'm sure at some point even me as a youngin didn't act accordingly, but now as an
Right.
OG,
Right.
you know what I mean, it's my responsibility to see what's what, and you know what I mean, and try to rectify even
Yeah.
myself, you know what I mean. So on that note, these youngins can't be blamed for the way they're acting. You know what I mean? Because
But you
it's
said it's
being
taught.
forced
It's
upon
just,
them. Yeah,
yeah,
it's been
well, it's being
forced
taught.
upon them.
Mhm.
So their choices are so limited. You know what I mean? They put blinders on them. And social media is a big part of it. You know what I mean? It's one of those evils that you can live with it. That you can't live with it or live without it. You know what I mean?
Well,
So
I
I
think
mean,
that's why it's so great right now that they're experiencing you all because, or as you say, the OGs, I just like to call you the legends or the more seasoned in hip hop, if you will. But I think that because they're now able to experience you all, see you live in a versus setting performing, or see new music, hear new music that they can relate to, then they don't get so like, oh, they are so different from us. They
right,
understand, oh, this is what we have kind of been born into. And so now
right,
we need to kind of look back and, learn in essence, to thank you
right,
guys for what you've laid for their foundation and such. So I think
right,
this COVID experience, good, bad, or indifferent, allowed for you all now to be able to come to the forefront and share a lot of the things. Like we're still cool kids, right? We're not old.
right.
We're not,
Hey, we might be old, but we old cool kids. Shit.
we're still cool kids. Don't
Right?
even think it.
That's real though.
Because we got to
That's
at least bring our kids to those
that's real.
concerts, right?
There you go. You know what I mean? That's real. That's true. That's
So,
true.
yeah, I think that, it's just in a time that they get it at that moment that they were leading the pack at that, and still winning. They didn't have to figure it out, so they're
Right,
being
right,
like given the bag and allowed to just mumble. So then it's
right,
like, okay, well, what are y'all saying?
right. You know what I'm
Until
saying?
everything.
it
So
it's it's
now,
it's it's the sad thing is that they're watering down the level of well, say let's say competition. You know what I mean? Because if you could get away just doing ABCs, then the next guy is just going to do one, two, three,
one, two,
and
three.
before you know it, you know what I mean? It's all ABCs and one, two, threes, and then
That's right.
everybody's doing
With
like
a
the
different
ABC
beat.
guy is great. You know what I mean? Yeah,
Yeah.
it's just crazy. Yeah.
Yes. Speaking of which, look, you got me all over the place now, but you have a song with the ABCs, right? With Zion.
Yes, I do. Yeah, it's as a matter of fact, yeah, you caught me on that one. But yeah,
See?
on the reels though, ABC is with Zion out of Augustown in Jamaica.
Uh-huh.
Sizzler Foundation, you know, helped us on that one too. It was the soundtrack for a book
Yes,
by
I
the
saw the book.
author, yeah, for the author, Miss Valerie Davis,
Huh?
who she came up with the concept of creating a book for young Jamaicans to with patois instead of writing it in English like a little storybook in patois. So
Nice.
to get them familiar with their with reading since
Sure.
they're used to using the patois. Just to get them excited about reading. Reading in their own
Yeah.
dialect.
And that was
Yeah.
just done soon. I mean, that was just last year that you all did that, or was that the top
I
of this
it
year?
might have been a year and a half, 2 years ago.
Okay.
The
Mm-hmm.
producer was from England, Tamil Productions, another veteran who's worked with like Capleton and
Look at that.
Marley's, yeah. So
Yes.
yeah, the song, the kid though, the kid Zion is I think he's 15 now, but the kid he has high high thoughts. You know what I mean? Like really evolved thoughts for a youngster.
Huh?
He wrote all his lyrics, and you know what I mean. I don't know if you have seen the video with him in
I
Jamaica and
did.
stuff.
Yeah, I
Yeah, you know
did.
what I'm saying.
I
Yeah,
love the
he's.
song.
I love that kid. Yeah, he's. I
Yeah,
was
I
I was
loved it.
proud to do that. You know what I mean? To have a
Yeah.
chance to give back to the kids in Jamaica. Anything. You know what I mean? Just to something. Yeah, that was dope.
Yes.
That was dope.
How old were you when you came from Jamaica here back to Brooklyn?
First time I came to America, I was 11.
Okay.
And then I visited for a few years, like summers and Christmas. And then I came to live at 14.
Okay.
Yeah.
And how
So I
was
was
it growing
14.
up in New York? Did you like it?
Of course. I mean, it was a culture shock, you know what I mean,
Yes.
coming from
Yes.
Jamaica, but I loved it. I mean, when you come from a third world country, when at that age, that time, you know what I mean, it's
Yeah.
wicked.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. It was a it was a huge transition, but coming a few years before helped. So I came to Brooklyn, moved. I went to Erasmus Hall for a while, Erasmus Hall High School in Brooklyn,
Okay.
and left there and went to Jersey. I lived in Newark, New Jersey for a little bit,
Hmm.
also. You know what I mean? But
Hmm.
yeah, it was New York up north, man, up north.
And it's amazing you still have your accent. I mean, obviously you're around family and such, but it's still so strong. So I
Yeah,
just
I try. I
wanted,
mean, I've tried to hide it a few times, but it never
oh,
worked.
never. You can't do it. Forget it.
No matter where I go, as soon as I open my mouth, somebody will say, "So where you from, man? You from?" You know, what I mean, even
Yes.
when I was in the military, I went around the world and it still didn't change. You know what I mean?
Yes.
It's
Yes.
embedded. I'm born there. You know what I mean? Not you got a lot of Jamaicans who pretend the accent. You know what I mean?
Uh-oh.
I can't
That's a
even
new one.
pretend it. I can't even pretend. Yeah, you know what I mean? Yeah, that's what we call them. When you pretend to be Jamaican, but you're not, you use the accent, you know what I mean? Not the people that's complimenting us. I mean, like the ones that's pretending. Like you'll see them on movies and stuff like that. You know, they'll get an actor that has nothing to do with the Caribbean, and then he start, yeah, more, and then like, oh,
Like, no way.
no,
No way.
not gonna
Yes.
work.
Yes. So the moment that we definitely have to ask you about is, or I should say, the time that you were able to, I guess, collab with Miss Lauren Hill. How
Ooh,
was that? Yes.
man,
And listen, before you say it, I need to put my hands on the computer or something because what you spoke to be able to work with her and it happened, I need that manifestation this way. So give me all of what you
you know what?
had.
I'm gonna tell you the words I use. Drew Dixon.
Okay.
Drew Dixon. This lady, I don't know if you know who Drew Dixon is.
Yeah, I've heard of her. Yes.
She's a
Mhm.
former A&R of Def Jam.
Yes. Uh-huh.
She was the one that was fully responsible for the show soundtrack. She
Okay.
was also the one that signed me to Def Jam. Drew, so
Nice.
so Drew was my champion.
Yes.
Drew and Lauren were friends before I met Lauren. I
Okay.
mean, it's different now. Even one of Lauren's first cousin, shout out to Derek Hill. That's one of my best friends. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So I know, people in the family, we hang or whatever, but back then I was just a fan. You know what I mean? When I got signed, we was trying to come up with an idea of a female collab. I went to a few ideas, like, TLC was one of them with T-Boz,
Yes.
because T-Bar's father, James Watkins, used to be my manager at the time.
Okay.
No, a lot of people don't know that yet.
We
But
got an exclusive.
yeah,
Yay.
yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Thank
But
you.
yeah, T-Bar's pops was my manager at the time.
Okay.
So we tried to get a couple of collabs on the deck to where, you know what I'm saying, I was thinking of artists, and Lauren came to the top of the list because not only was she of, like, Caribbean descent mixed,
Mhm.
she she was in a group with some Caribbean people, the refugees, and you know what I'm saying? I
Yes.
mean, I'm Jamaican, you know what I mean? And
It made sense.
it made sense.
Yes.
So Drew linked us up to
Nice.
do that. We
Yes.
have, like, the poetry. Drew actually wrote the poetry, and she wrote the love song, the reprise of the perfect match, and me and Lauren wrote the dancehall version and
I
the other
love
version.
that song. Oh my goodness. And I mean, and I will say, of course, I was introduced to you through Optimistic. Shout out to
My boy,
Optimistic.
yep, shout out
And
to Optimistic
yes, and
MC.
Salty Waters Project that we were
Right,
talking about. And so that's how I was introduced to you. But then of course, as I start to, really live with your catalog,
right.
I was just like, oh my gosh, like that song is, and I'm so beach, water, sun, all of that, the earth, because I'm a
Yes.
Virgo, so the earth sign.
Oh,
So
okay.
everything. So I'm so earth. And when I
Yes.
listened to that, I was like, oh, I'm getting ready to sit down, have like, it was everything. So I just said, oh my gosh, this is just amazing to be able to talk to you about, the making of Perfect
Yeah,
Match.
we did that in I thought it was Hit Factory, but Drew reminded me it was what a Battery Studio in New York.
Okay.
We did that in
Mhm.
Battery Studio. And like I said, Drew brought in, you like the horns and stuff, those are live instruments that's in that song. That's no sample stuff. And they brought in the keyboardists and everybody.
Top
They did that
notch.
right. That's real music. That is
That's
real music.
real
And
music.
that song is
Congratulations.
beautifully written. It came from Drew's heart. You know what I
Absolutely.
mean? Drew, this lady has worked with Aretha. I mean, I know the interviews about me, but I love this lady so much I have
Come
to pick her
on.
up. You know what I mean? She and you probably want to bring her on too because she's a very
Okay.
interesting lady. She has worked with
Okay.
Aretha. She has worked with Lauren Whitney. I mean, she's the one. She brought what's this kid name? John Legend to La Face, and he turned him down, and John Legend blew up. She brought she brought a couple of acts to a couple of people. I mean, before even the East Coast heard about Bone Thugs and Harmony, she was the one who put them on the soundtrack to bring them on this side. And people in Def Jam were like,
Vision.
"Who is Bone Thugs?" And she's like, "Don't worry about it. I got this."
Yes.
And
Yes. Yes.
yeah, she's phenomenal.
Yes.
She's a warrior and she's phenomenal.
Well, congratulations, because obviously that too was a very successful song. You launched it, I guess, before COVID, so that was good.
Right.
And all of that, the music and that, the making of it, all of the connections that you have, all of the legendary stories that you've been able to mix together has become quite a collection for you. And I do want to say congratulations for that. Give you your
Thank you.
roses while you are able to celebrate all of that amazing. I mean, just
Thank you.
listening to how you put things together is an inspiration for me, because I
Thank
like to
you.
hear, lean in to find out what was your thoughts? How did you want to do this and that? And just taking the time, to
Right.
manage the details, I think is important. So
The
thank
devil's in the
you for that.
details. That's right.
It's
That's where the
in the
devil is, right? In the
details.
details. Yep.
Yes. So you
Yeah.
worked with Chris Brown, and Chris Brown is from Virginia, which is where I am.
Right.
And we are well, I know his family. So I just wanted to see, how was that? Did you actually get an opportunity to work with him, or did you all just kind of do your verses separate? And
Yes, it was all
yeah,
business because I haven't
yeah.
really actually sat
That
down with
happens a lot
Chris.
with him.
Yes,
Uh-huh.
and it's the only one. Actually, he's the only one on the album that I didn't actually sit down with. But
Yeah,
we got his blessings. You know what I mean? Because of course we couldn't have put the record out without his blessings, and
absolutely.
we got a congrats. You know what I mean? I mean,
Yes.
thank you, Chris. but
Yes.
it was business. We had a dude that worked with his manager for Megatron, from Megatron Records, I think the name of it was. And he linked up everything, and him and my management, they got together and they got us, you know what I mean? I guess Chris, he made the song and decided he didn't know what he wanted to do with it. So he was like, okay, the hook is there. And somebody was like, well, can I let somebody else hear it? And he was like, I don't care. You know what I mean? like that. And
That's
so
him. And that,
I ain't
and
up for
how
the
long
song, but
ago
it's
was
Chris
that?
Brown.
How
And this
long
is
ago?
like 2 years ago. 2 years
Okay.
ago.
All
Yeah.
right. So he was focused. He wasn't like the young Chris where he's just like, okay, I don't know.
Right,
Yeah,
right,
yeah.
right,
He was
right. You
focused
know what I
on it.
mean?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's good.
So
It's a nice song. It's the pop mixed with the reggae mixed with. So yeah, you crossed a
yeah, he
few
loves
genres
reggae.
there.
Chris loves some reggae now. He
Yeah.
does. He just made a joint with popcorn, as a matter of fact.
Okay.
Yeah, you
Okay.
know
I
what I
haven't
mean?
heard.
So he's into that Afro, old Afro
Oh
beat
yes,
thing.
because he can
Yeah,
dance to that.
yeah. Yep, that's Chris. He's one of the nicest. Yeah.
That's that.
Yeah,
Now you
that's
have
real.
another interesting and I love like salsa and dancing and all of that. So you have Stephanie, which she kind of gave us a little love today earlier in the song. She did a comment down at the bottom, but you added her to the song as well. So is she part of your team, or was she someone
Yes.
else that you? Okay,
No, Stephanie's part of. I have a label.
okay,
I have a record label that's owned by me and a couple of people. I mean, Cannabis is one. You know what I mean? Me and Cannabis is in. We have this label. So
okay. Congratulations. And
right,
what's
we
the name
trying
of the
to.
label?
It's Afimi.
Okay.
It's a
All
Jamaican
right.
because
That's on the, yes.
Cannabis is Jamaican. Yeah.
Yes.
So Afimi mean it's mine. Like it's a
Okay.
Jamaican slang for
Oh, let
saying
me write
it's
that.
mine. Yeah,
It's
you know what I
mine.
mean? Like if you hear Jamaican say "I feel me," that means they're saying it's mine. You know what I
Oh,
mean?
we learned something today,
Yeah. So
guys.
so that's what a Femi really means, and
Okay, and what lang I mean, and what a Femi in Jamaican?
that's patois. Yeah,
Oh,
Jamaican
patois.
patois.
Okay. Uh-huh.
Yeah,
Yes, yes,
yeah,
yes. Okay.
yeah.
Yes, I learned
So
something.
we
Okay.
have a few artists. You know, me and Cannabis. I mean, Cannabis is a juggernaut. So he
Yeah.
does what he does. You know what I mean? And but we have some records coming with him also. But we have some young artists that we're trying to show the direction. You know what I mean? We have Stephanie. She's reggaeton, reggae, R&B, pop funk. She's very versatile in
Yeah.
both English and Spanish. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I
Then we
like
have
her.
young Jinx. Jinx is 17 and she does trap, cloud rap, and alternative R&B. Yeah, she's in development. So we letting her grow, into
Nice.
herself somewhere for
Okay.
her. I actually known Jinx since she was a baby. You know what
Oh
I
no.
mean? I knew
Oh,
her
how
her
sweet.
family and stuff. So at about 14 years old, her aunt gave me a call and said, Jinx is there, Jinx is that, and that, and that, and that, and that, and that. And they kept doing that. So after a while, me knowing how the industry is, you know what I mean,
Yeah,
for a
you
young lady, I said,
hmm
okay, if she's gonna be doing it, then we'll basically
That's nice.
protect her. You know what I
Yes.
mean? Because
Yes,
we
that's
know
what it's
how this
about.
is. You know what I mean? So
The
she's with us. We
vultures.
have Charlie Maine.
Uh-huh.
Charlie Maine is it's hard to describe him, but he's original. That's the best way to. He has done some trap. He
That's
has
not
done
surprising with you all.
right.
Original.
He's done some trap. He's done some collab with like Kevin Gates, Boozy,
Okay.
so he's coming up. He's working on in fact, he might be finished with his new album and it's funk. He
Nice.
has elevated to like, a new vibe where he's not trying to be he's not none of the artists that we have is going to be corralled in any corner like you must do this or it's they're all free will. Just be creative but
Mm-hmm.
be mindful. You know what I mean? We don't want artists that, we don't want no women that's over here trying to strip to, what I
Oh,
mean? You use your talent. If
okay.
you cannot use your
Okay.
talent, of course, be sexy if you want to be sexy, but
Yeah.
you should
But there's
not
a
be
difference.
based right.
Yeah,
It's
there's a
not going to
difference.
be your sales will not be based on you trying to take your clothes off. If that's
Okay.
what you're trying to do, this is not the label. We're not
Okay.
into that. You know what I mean? So we have GMAC, he's on Nine Ways Entertainment. We also have an entertainment company ran by Sean McAlonis, our COO, on the side. So we have other artists that he's trying to manage to see if they could get in the fold, but we trying to teach young artists stuff without robbing them, without, you know what I mean? We also have like the same record you was just talking about, the Monster with Chris Brown. We just signed a distribution and marketing deal with Sony Orchard. So
Okay.
all those songs
Congratulations.
we planning to drop a deluxe version of that and do even better than we have done with the records so far.
Oh,
So,
wow. Well, I'm glad
and
I teased it today again.
yes,
Got
and
people
these
thinking
artists,
about it.
yes, these artists, you're the first one I ever told. You're the first. I've
Yay, we
never said
got
that
another
anywhere.
exclusive.
I've never said that anywhere yet. Nobody knows this.
Okay.
You're the
We
first
got
to
a
know this.
gem. All
Yes,
right.
you're the first to
Yes.
know this. And we already
Thank
signed. We're
you.
just waiting for words now. So
Well, look, cheers to that. I don't know what you're drinking, but cheers to that. I'll have to
not
get you
not
some.
yet. I was smoking, but I didn't want to pull the spliff on the screen. But it's all.
Okay. I have
I
to
wanted to
send you a
make a
bottle
joke.
for that.
Yeah, I wanted to make a joke. I wanted to tell you I'm gonna make a spin-off of your show called Spliffs and Conversations now.
Okay.
But that's an idea. You should use that.
No, you go for it. I'll
the
introduce it
cannabis
when you're
market,
ready. Don't
the
worry.
cannabis market is legal now. So
Listen,
it's
do
not.
you know how many people you would have on the show? You'd have to have like a forum, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
With like with Crazy Dre's and Fredro and
Snoop. Yeah. Big
yes,
spliff on
you got
conversation.
your
Yeah.
first show already. Go for it.
You gotta be always thinking, right? Yeah, you gotta always be thinking.
Yes,
Yeah,
I
but
will not be mad at you.
I was just being funny. Somebody
Yes,
might run with it though.
of course. It might be Snoop.
That wouldn't be a bad thing. As long as he makes me a
Absolutely.
guest for taking that. We good.
We know where they heard it first. We're gonna put
Right?
this up right after so they'll
That's
know.
what's up. That's what's up. Yeah,
Oh, that's
man.
amazing. So new music, what do you have?
Uh we have so much new music because during the pandemic, that's all we did was just make music.
Yeah.
So now it's just the timing to get things out. We've been trying to hold things back for this deal to be completed because we want to, get a proper marketing plan for each songs that we drop.
Right.
What I'm doing right now is just basically putting out feelers for like Stephanie. I just dropped a single for her, and it's doing pretty well. For the 2 weeks it's been out, organically she has gained like 4,000 plays. You know what I mean?
Okay.
it's not a million,
Congratulations to her.
but we want to see because it's easy for you to buy plays and buy this and buy that, but
Yes,
we want
yes.
to build from the bottom up because that's how you get a fan base.
Right.
So we're not into faking anything. So yes, only 4,000, but yes, it's all organic
It's
and it's all
not
real
only,
people.
listen, when you put that in perspective, and I have to do this even with whatever number it is, you think about a venue and you put the butts in the seed, it means a lot.
Yes.
Every person that you can touch, and even if it's 100 people, it's still an intimate 100 people that care. That's what you want.
Yep.
People that are loving what you're doing. So I don't look at the numbers at all. I look at what you're putting out
I
as
always tell them,
making
don't
certain
watch
that
the
it's
likes.
coming
Yep.
from the soul,
Don't
and then
watch the
and then
likes.
you're good.
Yeah. If you
So
could
it's
get
just
one
fine.
authentic person out of 100,
That's
you good.
it.
Yes, it's
That's
true.
it. You're
It's
good.
so
I
true.
definitely I feel
So
that in
true.
everything.
Yep.
You get
Yep.
lost with those numbers because those people may not be paying attention at all.
Yep.
So I wouldn't even think that. Now, one of the songs that I did like was Model for Me.
Okay. Yes. We have
Yeah.
we like to call him our in-house producer, Armada,
Okay.
the producer. Armada has a history he's from Puerto Rico. He has a history going back to Daddy Yankee and all of them from the original crew. You know what I mean? So he's
Okay.
real authentic. He's the real deal.
Yeah.
And when we want to get like, so we go outside and get tracks because we don't want to be like, no one dimensional anything that we do. But
Right.
most of those type songs we get from Armada. And Armada was the force behind that one. You know what I mean?
Yes, I like
He
it.
got he got Bimbo, Bimbo from Puerto Rico, which is also, he got history with the old crew. And we got a young kid from Jamaica and we put it together. And I forgot his damn, I almost said Egyptian. It's because this, like I said, Armada was the force behind this. He just sent me the record and said, Cali, I want you to put a verse on this. And I'm like,
Yeah.
let me hear it. And as soon as I heard it, I was like, oh, hell yeah, let's go.
Yes, I like it. I do. I like that one, and I like Go She Gone. I think that's a new one, right?
Yes, Gosha Gone now. That's close to my heart because I didn't do Gosha Gone to release.
Oh,
I initially did Gosha Gone as a tribute to Elaine Thompson Hera for winning the 100 meter.
oh, nice.
Go, she's gone.
Yes, I didn't.
As
I
soon
would have
as they
never known
say
that before.
go, she's gone. That's why go, she gone. It's about
Yes,
her.
that's cool. Yeah, we got
Yes,
another one today. We're
yes,
on
that
the
it's
roll.
about her. You know what I'm saying? And
And-
the song is a little story about the race itself. A
okay.
100 meters on the starting block. You know what I mean?
Yes.
If you listen to that, I'm gonna have a lyrics video up in a week, and you can
Yes.
check it out. But it describes the race from start to finish.
Yes. I love that. Yes, that is. Yeah, because
And
she did her thing.
the beat is, that Afro dancehall.
Absolutely. I
Loving it,
was
loving it.
loving it. Yes. So, do you have something for us to listen to?
Right now,
Yes.
yes, I do. I got a new song on the board right now called
Since you're in your
Strugglers.
studio.
I'm in my little editing studio. Yeah.
Yes.
Strugglers is a song that's coming. Like I said, we just got the deal. So we're trying to, make sure we do right by each artist that's around it. That's why we're not running around trying to sign 100 people because that's only if you're trying to just get quick profit. You know what I mean? We really want
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
develop some people that's going to be here for a long time and can make a difference in
Sure.
whatever thoughts we might be trying to manifest. So Jinx and Charlie Maine hopped on this one with me. It's called Strugglers. I'm gonna play a little bit for you.
Okay.
Yeah. Can you hear it? Freestyle, freestyle. Let me put this over here. I just get woman in my super here. Get the one that person them I call upon Almighty name. I just pray that get them with that thing. Now get the better everything just remain the same. I will we don't know what we're thinking now.
Yeah, that's why you smoke to that kind of music. That's fire. So the
That,
artists that you have on there, are they
that's
new
Charlie
artists?
May. That's Charlie May. Yeah, he's new.
He's new. Okay, so
That's
you
the
got
one I
the
was telling
new
you
group.
about.
You got the new
Yes,
crew.
yes,
Yeah, because
yes.
you
I
got
got
that
the new
bounce in
crew.
there, that fast
Yes,
talking bounce. Yeah, I got it.
yes. So what I did now again is I incorporate that old school vibe
Yeah,
with some new school vibe,
yeah.
and it meshes right.
It
It's
sounds good.
working. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
good for
working. That
you.
one is
That's
coming.
fire.
Yeah, and then
Hmm.
the song is from a group in Europe and Sony Europe that we sampled it from. So it's gonna be dope. It's gonna be dope.
It's dope. Yes.
Yeah,
Have
and
you
it's
all
it's, it's
already planned?
say
Oh,
again.
go
I'm
ahead. I'm
sorry.
sorry. Go
I
ahead.
was saying it's actually saying something. You know what I mean? Even
Yeah.
though it got that bop, it's got content. You know what I
Okay.
mean? He's speaking about taking care of his kid. You know what I mean? Whatever he might do to do what he do, yeah, you know what I mean? He gonna keep it gully, but it's about the strugglers. You know what I mean?
Oh, that's
Because
new.
we get cornered and we don't know what to do. Like, you know what I'm saying? We don't know what to go left, right, up, down. You know what I mean? And this is how things occur. So that's what the song is about. The poor people.
That's that new for sure because they like to talk about what they have to do to get it. So yeah,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah, that's cool.
You got to appeal to them. I always got a thing in my head where I said, give them what they want until I could give them what they're supposed to get. You know what I mean? You got to bring them in
Mm,
so they could pay attention. Then you could pop them in the head with everything they need to know.
yeah, absolutely. Have you all planned a tour yet? I know you just mentioned, abroad. Have you all planned to go back to Jamaica or anywhere else and to perform?
We have plans for overseas next year, but with
Okay.
this COVID situation, we still on watching. You know what I mean? We
Yeah.
have a bunch of things in the works. From, to be honest with you, movies, right? But we got a bunch of stuff in the works. You know what I mean?
Good.
And
Yeah.
we trying to really go for the long game. You know what I mean? Set it up to where my kids can eat from something. You know what I mean? It
Yes, that's the legacy.
might not be overnight, but we won't stop. And we're not,
Yeah.
only quitters fail. So we're not quitting. So we'll never fail.
Do you have a story of when you were traveling abroad? I'll always like to pull out something funny, something amazing, the best moments when you were touring with any other groups. Do you have anything that you would like to
I
give
mean, I
us?
got stories of the days from, I mean, I was going to give you one in Canada, but let me come back home. I like to tell this one. I
You
was
can
on
tell us
tour.
both.
Yeah, I was on tour with I think it was LL, Q-Tip, part of Wu-Tang. And I mean, it was a bunch of us. It was a lot of Def Jam was
Uh-huh.
there. And we had a show in Miami, and it was time for Capleton to get on stage.
Mhm.
And just before Capleton get on stage, old dirty bastard run from nowhere and just grabbed the mic and just laid down on the floor and told him to play his song. They started playing his song, and he just sat there and breathed for 5 minutes. He did
He's
nothing
so
to the
wow.
point where Raekwon had to come up, grab the mic, and start spitting his lyrics. I mean, the story could
That
be
was
long,
his
but
verse. He just,
he
he
just sat on, he just laid on the stage and just went for 5 minutes, and the
how
crowd was
hilarious.
just The crowd was just going stupid. uh,
He is something. I was watching the Woo. Well, it's not the Woo, but I was watching Woo the movie, the series, and I
right,
love it. I'm like addicted to it. Every night I have to have like a 30-minute session or something with it. I
right,
just love
right.
that one. And so yes, just watching him. Rest in peace, ODB. I hate that we lost such a talent. And even though
Real.
you said that, he still was in his art form
Yes.
at that point.
Yes.
But I like their series. But yeah, he is hilarious. Even in
Yeah.
that, it's so funny to watch him.
Yeah. He's something. He was a character, and people loved him.
Yes,
You know what I
rest in
mean?
peace.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, man.
Okay, so your Canadian story.
The Canadian story. I mean, maybe I shouldn't tell that one. I'll give
Okay.
you another one. I give you another one though. I was in the
Okay.
Palladium in New York. I was in the Palladium in New York with it was me, I think Method Man, Redman. I'm not sure if Onyx was out. There was a lot of people in the building. Bush Babies, a bunch of people in the building. But Redman and Meth was on stage at the time, and something kicked off in the crowd, and the one and only came storming through, Mr. Keith Murray. And I don't know what happened with him and somebody, but he jumped up on the side of like some shit that had the lights that was on the stage to be, like to focus on the artist. And the
Uh-huh.
whole place just started doing like this, you know what I mean? And then, oh yeah, Brandy and her brother was standing beside me, as a matter of fact. I don't know them, but that's how packed the place was. And he had
Okay.
everybody just running like stupid. You know what I mean? I don't want to be calling people out. Let me stop. Let me
The energy is what
let
we
me
are looking for. That is all you're giving us is the energy. You can just imagine from ODB on the floor for 5 minutes, and then we're
yeah,
gonna get
from
up from that concert and we're gonna watch Keith Murray swing from the rafters. Listen,
yeah,
this
dog.
is hip hop at its best.
Yeah, at its best. Those were the days though. Those were the days.
Yes, this
Those were
is
the
what we
days.
want. This is what we live
Yeah.
for. To
Those were
just
the
be able
days.
to just embellish in these moments of like fun and when things were a lot less complex,
Yeah.
it seemed.
Yeah.
It was just
Yeah.
so much just energy and fun, and everyone was doing what they love, and that was just what
Yeah.
it was. So yeah,
That's so
thank
true.
you for
That's so
that.
true.
We do appreciate that. Now,
That's
I
it.
am one partial to Black Rob. I really another rest
Uh
in peace, Black Rob. And I do know that you worked with him, or at least you have music with him. Did you have an opportunity to work with him directly?
Black Rob is not I did not just work with Rob. Rob was my dog, yo.
Okay, all right.
That was
So,
my
do you
dog.
have us a story for him? Oh my
I mean,
God.
I got so much stories, but you just choked me up a while ago. I don't think I could tell no story, but
Oh
yo,
my, I'm
Rob, put
sorry.
it this way, Rob, I knew Rob before he got signed to Bad Boys.
Okay.
Me and Rob used to ride around in hoopties, dog, and get dime bags of weed to smoke. When I first signed to Def Jam,
Okay.
Rob didn't have a deal yet. I mean,
Uh-huh.
I was one of the first dudes to take Rob into Def Jam, to where Leo Coins and all of them was like, yo, Black Rob here, Black Rob, you know what I mean? Like that. And Rob is the one who, he introduced me to Puffy and everything. You know what I mean? But man, Rob, out of all the people I've spoke of and everything, Rob was my brother. You know what I
Nice.
mean? Rob was my dude, my dude, my dude. Like we that's my dude. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But he was funnier than everybody else. That's probably one of the funniest dudes in hip hop. He
Wow.
he's Rob. He used to have a time of evening where he used to come around. Like we was in Miami in Circle House. Uh, I don't know if you should be familiar with Inner Circle, the group that did Bad Boys, What
Uh-huh.
You Wanted. They got a big studio in Miami. In fact, what they did where they used to live in Miami before they got millions of dollars, they just kind of bought the block. And then they put they parents are across the street, made a bigger
Okay.
house, and then across the street from that they made a huge ass studio, and then they bought the house behind that to the next street. So this house, you just walk through the studio and walk straight back all the way almost to the next street, and it's all
Uh-huh.
theirs.
Oh wow. Uh-huh.
Puffy rented out that studio for a week, and had all of Bad Boys down there just recording music. I mean, Faith Hill, everybody was in the building. Mace, not Mace, Loon. Loon is also used to be a good
Okay.
friend of mine. And there used to
Haven't
be a
heard that
certain
name in a
hour,
while.
like 10 o'clock, where Rob, because Rob used to drink a lot back then. And RIP, my brother, I know that did not
I
help.
know.
You
Rest
know
in
what I mean?
peace.
That didn't help, but he drank hard. And you know what I mean? It'd get to like 9, 10 o'clock, and he'd step in the room and the whole place would just light up because he would have everybody just cracking up. I
Yeah.
mean, just off the top of his head. You know what I mean? He
Yes.
was that dude. Rob wrote a lot of songs for a lot of people that people don't even know. A lot of people on Bad Boys, Rob wrote their record. You feel
Wow.
me? That kid was talented, bro.
Yeah, no doubt.
He was writing a lot of songs before he did Whoa. He wrote a lot of songs for Bad Boy before he did Whoa. You know what I mean? That kid was talented. He didn't what I don't know, man. He had a stroke of bad luck when it came to just getting into damn trouble. You know what I mean? And he came. A lot of people blame Puffy, but it's not so much Puffy fault. Rob, he's my friend, and I would never speak down on him, but he was stubborn. You know what I mean? He would never leave the streets. Rob would come to any town, and even if you gave him a limousine and the plushest hotel, you're gonna find him in the worst hood. You're gonna find him on the worst corner, just
Yeah.
hanging with the worst people. And that
Wow.
was, I mean, people loved him for that because he never left
Down to earth.
who he was, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
But that dude was funny, man. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
Rest
my
in
dude,
peace,
man.
Black Rob.
Yeah, I got
Yeah.
I got songs with Rob not even released.
Oh wow. Well, maybe you need
Yeah,
to put
man.
those on your album.
Yeah, I got songs with Rob that's not even released. Yo,
We're
that's
here
my
for it.
dude. That's my
Yeah.
dude. That's my
Yes.
dude.
Oh
Next to
wow.
Cannabis, that's my dude. That's my other brother. Real thing.
Yes. Yes, you took us back on the hip hop journey. I love it.
Yeah, it's
So
real.
just in the overall of what you have going on now, you've just signed a deal. Oh, I can't say it, even though you've told us, but so as it relates to your releases, when do we expect the new music?
Well, the year is over, and I'm trying not to throw myself. See, what I don't want to do is bite off more than I can chew because we don't have no super big budget until, you know what I mean?
Hmm.
So we got to do it step by step. So right now I have Steph. We just dropped a single for Steph. We're probably going to drop another single for Steph, and then maybe a single for Jinx. And by that time, we should be ready. So I'm saying like the first quarter of next year, we should
Okay.
be looking out, what I mean, putting out some new records because that's
Okay.
usually the best time the corporate
Yeah.
guys want to press the button on, new releases. Anything else we could do on our own. Shit, we might even make a Christmas song.
I
You
was
know what I
gonna
mean?
say, usually
Yeah.
Christmas songs are ready, so you
Yeah.
always queue up one of those because they're
Yes.
easy to
Yes.
come out. But
Yeah.
yeah, that
That's
and
real.
some of your unreleased music, you might need to go comb
Yeah,
through
we
your
have we have
crates.
a lot. Yes, we have a lot of music. We have it, and the sweet thing for me right now that I'm enjoying is making music freely, not being cornered. Like I said,
Yeah.
like I make some hip hop if I want. I make some R&B style if I choose. As a matter of fact, I got this one R&B joint coming out with Lionel B. That
Okay.
that 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 super dude from Florida.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know if you've heard of him, but you could look him up. He's
I will.
he was self-made. He got like 11 million views on YouTube. You know what I mean? All on his own, like with no, you know what I mean? The dude
Uh-huh.
is a marketing genius. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Yeah. So with him, so anything I feel, some reggae, you know what I mean? So I'm waiting till everything solidified next year, and I'm gonna try to go for one of them huge reggae artists and do a collab with one of them. You know what I mean?
I can't wait. That's gonna be dope. The
Yeah.
creativity is definitely there, so I know you'll pick.
Thank you.
By the time you finish, you'll have them all on one.
Yeah, I'll try. I'll damn sure
A little
try.
of this and a
I
little of
already
that.
got my Living Legends hip hop,
Yes.
kind of album out. So I'm gonna
So now
add,
you need the
like
reggae.
add a few more artists to that and do a deluxe for that. But I want a reggae one also. You know what
That's
I mean?
it.
Like
Oh
hip hop,
my
like
gosh.
reggae legends. You know what I mean? That'd be dope.
Yes, that'd be
Yeah.
dope.
Then
Yes,
I then
I'm
I'm
here
done.
for
Then
it.
I could go sit down. Nah, just joking. I'll
You
never be
wouldn't,
done.
because you're
I'll
just
never be
enjoying it.
done.
Yes,
Yes, I am. And that's the greatest thing about it, having fun with it. You know what I mean? I am having
yes,
fun. And that's I think that's the greatest part of it, man. That's the
absolutely.
greatest part. Yep.
Yes, thank you so much for joining Champagne and Conversations.
No,
This was
thank
certainly
you.
fun. Yes, and please share your social media,
Oh, I'm gonna
website,
share the hell
everything.
out. Oh, I'm gonna share everything. Oh, you mean me? Oh,
Yes,
okay.
share it
You
now.
can find Cali Ranks, KaliRanks, everywhere. The only place I have anything different is Instagram with underscore Cali Ranks underscore, and I have the real Cali Ranks. You know what I mean? But everywhere
Okay.
else is Cali Ranks. Nobody likes that name, so nobody took it. They might have taken Cali, but they didn't get the ranks. So Cali
Maybe
Ranks.
the right. Yes. Thank you so much for joining Champagne and Conversations. It has been an amazing conversation with
Thank you,
you.
Empress. Thank you.
Yes,
Thank you
thank
so
you
much.
so
I
much.
so
Thank you.
appreciate you having me.
Absolutely. Hang with me just a moment, ladies and
All right.
gentlemen. Callie Ranks, and we appreciate you joining Champagne and Conversations. Thank you.